this video, we're going to be learning how to make custom Apple loops, right? So you know that this icon right here is the loops browser. If you click on that, it'll open up the loops browser, or you can press the letter O on the keyboard. The letter O on the keyboard is actually the shortcut, right? So we're going to use the shortcut here, O. And you already know all about Apple loops and how they sync up and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be talking about a couple other things that you can do with Apple loops, okay? So right away, I'm going to go over to this folder because this is where I have this sample that I want to use. And you know that any samples that you purchase or whatever, most samples that you find online, they're going to have the tempo, right? So we know that this number right here, you already know this. This is the BPMs of the sample. And if you've been wondering what this letter is right here, this is actually the key of the song, D minor. See that? Yeah, so that's the key. This is the BPMs right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this session and we're going to make the BPMs of this session 142, right? So 142, return. And then you see right here where it says C major. We're going to look at the key, right? D minor. This is the key that the song is in, or the sample. So we're going to go to D, and then we're going to go minor right there. All right. So now that we've done this, we can take this sample, and we're just going to drop it right here. This is asking you about sample rate, right? So what we want to do is we'll change the project, right? So now the sample rate is the same. And the next thing I like to do is, let me make this a little bit wider. I like to make sure that the sample is going to lock in. So see how it's locked in right there? And then if we go to the beginning of the song, it should be locked in as well. So here we go. Let's look. Okay, set a loop bar. I'm just going to go to measure 4 and double click right here. See how that looped perfectly? Let's check it again. Boom. So there you go. That looped perfectly, right? So now what we want to do is we want to open up the loops browser. I'm just going to press O to open it up. And our sample, right? So we want to make sure the tempo is correct. So 142, 142. And guys, this is just the way I do things. There's a couple ways to do this. This is just the way I do things, all right? And since you're my students, obviously this is the way you're going to learn. Let's see. So tempo, 142, and then our key, D minor. So we're going to go, boom. There we go. So we double checked it. Now we can take the sample, drag it, and drop it right here into the loops browser. When you drop it, you're going to get this window, right? So the next thing you can do is go up to name, and you can rename this. I don't like to have these super long titles. So typically what I'll do is I'll do something like that. So I still have the tempo and I still have the key of the song. We need to go to scale, right? So we know that this is D minor. Anytime you see a letter and the letter M means minor. So there we go. We're going to go minor there. And then where it says genre, doesn't matter. I would say that this is urban, so we're just gonna put urban, and it's in the key of D for D minor. And then the next thing we're gonna do is, I think those were some pizzicato, so I'm just gonna put strings, and then we'll say violas, even though that might be, let's do violins, and they are, it's an ensemble, right? So I'm just gonna hit create, and it's gonna take a second. Boom, it's going to think. Now, where you'll find your custom sample, the sample we just did, is you go to where it says show all, and you click right here. And then you go all the way down to where it says, all the way down is right there. Right here, we go to my loops, right? So now that we've gone to my loops, we just have to find our sample. Actually, let's get rid of the sample on the page. And on the sequence page, and now let's see, this is it right here, right? 142 D minor, 142 D minor, right? See that? So now if we wanted to, let's say we wanted to go up a couple BPMs to say 150, right? So I'm just going to put 150. I'm going to hit enter, right? And then also, by the way, if you go here, there's a bunch of different window options, right? See this? I usually go to custom, or I'll go to right here, beats and project. By default, it always goes beats and project, but I like this one here. So what this does is it shows you BPMs, the time signature, and the key of the song, right? So now I've raised this to 150. Now look. Right? So let's say that I love that tempo, but my client wants the song in a different key. So let's say that they want the song in the key of G minor. We can click on that, right? So then when you hit this, when you hit the preview, see it changed the key that the song is being played in. If we were to go, we were in D minor, so if we were to go to A, actually now let's go E. So let's go let's go E flat minor. So we'll go there and then check this out. If we wanted to go to, say, F minor, you see what I'm saying? Hopefully you get the point. So whatever key your session is in, your custom Apple loops and these stock Apple loops, they will all play in the key that you have in your session. This is very, very important, all right? Especially when we start doing remixes next week. So yeah, have some fun doing that, guys. Practice that. Pause the video right now. Go make a few loops and then come right back. All right, welcome back, guys. So listen, the next thing I want to do is I want to talk to you about starting your own library, your own custom samples library. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this page. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to go to the sample folder that I gave you for this year. So there it is right there, right? Now, what I would do if I were you, right? I would go through and find the samples that I love, right? Like right here, this is what I'm doing. I'm building my new library with all my custom Apple loops. And notice that I have these color coded, right? Green, green, green. Red means I don't care for it. Green means definitely put these into the Apple loops. And you see what I'm saying? So the way that I do this is I hold control. I go to a sample. I click on it. And then right down there, you'll see the colors. So I might, if I love that, if I love this, I can make it. Or if I'm just not sure about it, I can click it and change it to yellow. That way I can come back to it later. Red usually means I don't like this. And if you want to undo it, just Command Z, and it will undo the coloring of the samples. So once you have all your samples that you want, just do this process. Now, I know that this process takes a lot of time on the front end, but once you start making music, being able to have access to those Apple loops in the right key and in your desired BPMs, as opposed to having to time stretch like I showed you, the more difficult way to do it. You know what I mean? Some of you like doing it the difficult way, and that's great because, that's great. Then you're not relying on AI, right? But this right here is an AI thing that is amazing, and you really need to learn how to use it. Yeah, so anyway, what I would like for you to do today is just start building your library, man. At least drop 20 samples in there. Just drop 20 samples in there, because when we're going to be doing remixes, this is going to be important. Anyway, guys, thank you. I'll catch you on the next one.